Hi, everybody. This is Saad for the Sad Truth. Some of you might have noticed that over the past few weeks, I've put up a few sad truth clips that speak to various forms of delusional thinking or departures from reason, whether it be postmodernism or various forms of statistical inferencing errors that people make. So there are all sorts of ways that people engage in profoundly silly, if not delusional, thinking. And so, to stay true to this theme, today I'd like to cover a one such topic known as benevolent sexism. Get ready, it's going to get good. Uh, and for those of you that are interested in reading more about this, I wrote several years ago two Psychology Today articles where I discussed this exact issue. I also cover it in my 2007 book, so you can also get a copy of my book. So benevolent sexism, the general idea is that it's incorrect to simply think of sexism as being, the usual hostile sexism that, where men subjugate, exploit women, demean them, treat them as sexual objects. That would be various forms of hostile sexism. Apparently, there's another form of sexism that's quite pernicious, but also very important to document, known as benevolent sexism. And this is the idea that if you are chivalrous to a woman, you are galant, you open the doors for her, you treat her with a lot of attention such that she's put on a pedestal, you protect her. All of these various microaggressions are forms of benevolent sexism because you're ultimately assuming that women need to be protected and so on. They're not your equal. Some people thought that this was impossible, that somebody could come up with such a outlandish account. I mean, we know from evolutionary theory that if you ask women what are the types of attributes that they seek in men, if we look at, for example, the content analysis of romance novels, they look for guys that are superheroes, that are chivalrous, that are galant, that will jump and fend off the tiger as it tries to eat the female companion. And so we know that based on female preferences, certainly they appreciate such men, unless they've been, of course, brainwashed by by the patriarchy. So some people could simply not believe that such a construct could exist. And so what I decided to do in my articles, which, as I said, you could access at the bottom of the clip, is to actually take the most well-respected psychometric scale that measures benevolent sexism. This comes from a paper by Glick and Fisk published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, which is a very prestigious journal. It has so far received almost 2,000 Google Scholar citations. So this is a very, very important paper, a definitive paper. This is not some quack paper. And so what I have here for you are 11 items from the scale that specifically cater to benevolent sexism. Why don't we go through them and see how lunacy can develop within the academia? All right, here we go. So no matter how accomplished he is, a man is not truly complete as a person unless he has the love of a woman. That's item one. You basically answer 0 to 5 from disagree strongly to agree strongly. So if you answer that you as a man are incomplete without having the love of a woman by your side, you are a benevolent sexist. Now, we are a heterosexually reproducing species. I mean, we are a sexually reproducing species. We couple. That's how we reproduce. So if you say that your life is incomplete as a man without the love of a woman, you are sexist. Let's go on. In a disaster, women ought not necessarily to be rescued before men. This is what's called reverse coded. So if you basically think that, yes, you should go ahead and try to protect women, the elderly, and children first, that would be an example of benevolent sexism. And so, for example, maritime law, which dictates this type of ordering, would be a form of institutionalized benevolent sexism. Let's go on. People are often truly happy in life without being romantically involved with a member of the opposite sex. This again is reverse coded. So if you basically say, no, I disagree. for people to be happy, they should be romantically involved, which you would think, again, for a sexually reproducing species, coupling matters for us to have children. That would be a form of benevolent sexism. Let's go on. Many women have a quality of purity that few men possess. Of course, we don't really know what is meant here by purity, but if you think, for example, that men are more, quote, piggish than women, and so you agree to that, that would be benevolently sexist. If, on the other hand, you said that women are equally piggish and impure as men, then you would avoid the appellation of being a sexist. Women should be cherished and protected by men. If you agree to that, you are one sick, twisted, sexist pig. So if you, for example, see a bunch of guys attacking a woman in an alley, you now face a dilemma. Either you jump in to protect her, in which case, of course, that's a form of benevolent sexism. I mean, how dare you come to her rescue? I mean, she could handle things by herself. Or you could just kind of walk away and at least avoid being called sexist. Every man ought to have a woman whom he adores. If you answer yes to that, if you love your wife, if you aspire to have a wife whom you adore and respect, what a disgusting pig you are. You must be sent to a Khmer Rouge re-education camp. Men are complete without women. This is reverse coded. So again, if you think that you as a man, if you're incomplete without a woman, that would be a form of benevolent sexism. A good woman should be set on a pedestal by her man. If you survey 100 women, 99 would say that that's a wonderful trait for their man to have. They seek such a man. But apparently, if you set your woman on a pedestal, you're a disgusting pig. Women compared to men tend to have a superior moral sensibility. Well, there are many, many studies that demonstrate that there is actually such a sex difference. Now, if you agree to the fact that women might be more moral than men, you're a sexist pig. Men should be willing to sacrifice their own well-being in order to provide financially for the women in their lives. You answer yes to that. If you work hard so that you can, be a better provider for the family. This, of course, doesn't preclude your wife from working, but simply agreeing to the fact that you should provide more for your family is a form of benevolent sexism. And finally, women, as compared to men, tend to have a more refined sense of culture and good taste. So if you believe that women are somehow more culturally sophisticated than men, this may or may not be true, but if you believe it to be true, so in other words, if you are complimenting women for being superior in their cultural refinement, you're a sexist pig. So basically, if you value women, if you cherish them, if you feel that your life would be incomplete without a woman, if you seek to couple with a woman so that you could pursue this little biological imperative known as to reproduce, you are one disgusting sexist pig. Please subscribe, spread the word. Talk to you soon. Ciao.